Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's edition of KDHL's AM Minnesota program. Today I am surrounded by younger people, much younger than I. They are with the Young Professionals organization. They call themselves YPro from the Faribault Area Chamber of Commerce and Tourism. And I certainly appreciate their coming by today. We'll learn more about the YPro organization. I just learned before we hit the airwaves that they no longer have an age limit, so I could be a young person.
That's right.
Yeah, I could be a YPro.
Everyone could be.
Everyone?
Yeah. There's no age restrictions. It's just, you really just have to be young at heart, Gordy, and I think you qualify.
Well, I would consider myself young at heart. Bodily I'm not, but at heart I am. Anyway, Haley Harn Warner is with us, and so is Megan Horton. They're with the YPro organization. YPro members listed on the chamber website, so you've got a lot of them here, I see.
We do. This year we actually have 31 members, but something that's kind of unique to our group is you actually can either be a member of the Young Professional group or you can just come per time. So you don't have to be a member to participate. So if you're listening and you're not a member, that doesn't mean that you can't get involved right now.
And you also don't have to be a chamber member to participate in the Young Professionals group, which is kind of unique as well.
Right, but a majority of them, we were chatting before going on the air, you believe are chamber members.
Yes, they are.
Just naturally, I think a lot of people hear about our group through the chamber, and we so appreciate the chamber's support because they kind of back us in everything that we want to do. But we want to make sure and get the word out, so we're hoping this time on the air today can maybe invite some new people that are not chamber members, aren't involved at all, and they want to kind of explore what it means to be a part of the chamber or get involved with a group like ours.
And again, it used to be 40 and under, but now anybody can join your group.
You're right.
And the idea, here's the question. Why would somebody in his 50s want to join your YPro group?
So we actually, when we had the age kind of guidelines, which was 20 to 40, we had a few people that were over 40 that kind of said, well, we want to come. Those events look interesting. So we talked as a committee and just decided that why limit it? We'll open it up to anyone. But it does seem like it attracts kind of that age group, but it certainly is open, and we definitely have some events that are actually open and marketed to the public. So we recently had an event in January at the Paradise Theater where we brought in a speaker, a national speaker, John Crudelli, and we had about 200 people at the event. And he was a motivational speaker. It was a lunch and learn over the lunch hour, and he talked about just the road to being remarkable, and it was a really successful event. And that event we actually marketed to the whole community of Faribault.
So really the idea is just as a professional wanting to be connected to the community. So that's why we don't, again, have an age limit, because anybody, maybe they're new to town or are starting a new career and they want to get connected to a group of people.
And let's say I'm a business owner, even if I'm in my 50s, I want to target these young people that are in town.
That's true. Right? Yep. If you start to build relationships with the group that's involved with the YPro, hopefully it will in return, get them connected to your services. And the concept of YPro is really it's basically a group designed to help young professionals make contacts, gain information, and meet other members of the community to advance their careers and enjoy their lives in the Faribault area. So
kind of our tagline is grow your community, grow your business, and grow yourself. So it's really kind of those three pillars that we focus on for our events throughout the year.
Now Megan works with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southern Minnesota, which is a big job, if you don't mind my saying so.
Yes, it is. So I've been there for 3.5 years.
And it's awesome.
It is. It's a really great organization. I'm happy to.
I used to be a Big. It was a lot of fun. And Haley Harn Warner is with G&H Properties as a realtor, right?
I am, yep. And I've been doing real estate for about 11 years. And I will tell you what, right now is the hottest I've seen the market for homes, both selling and buying. It's a great time to sell and a great time to buy. So It's pretty exciting.
We'll talk maybe a little bit more about that when AM Minnesota continues, as well as more about the Young Professionals organization. They do some terrific things in our community. They had a coat drive the last couple of years, and we're going to talk about that when AM Minnesota. We're learning more about what would you call this, an arm of the chamber? A
branch of the chamber.
Okay, a branch of the chamber. It's called YPro, stands for Young Professionals. YPro's kind of hipper, don't you think? More
a little bit, yeah.
Easier to say.
I just invented a new word, hipper. It's more hip,
There you go.
I think. Y-Pro versus Young Professionals. Event Haley Harn-Warner is with us along with Megan Horton. Haley is the chairperson of the group, right?
That's right.
Do you remember when this started?
Well, it was right when
Y-Pro?
I moved back to Faribault after college, which
Okay.
was in 2007.
All
So
right.
there was a group of us that were new, back in Faribault getting our careers going, and we ran into each other at different chamber events and amongst the community, and we're like, wait, you're here too? And so we kind of thought, there's a lot of young professionals here, but we're not getting connected. So what can we do to start having kind of a centralized spot or event that gets people connected when they want to reconnect or meet new people?
So you were kind of a pioneer of this.
I was one of the kind of founding, I guess, committee members. But now, and we've evolved our group over the last 11 years into what it is now with kind of a different twist on things like Megan mentioned earlier. Our concept is grow yourself, grow your business, and grow your community. And I've got a committee of, I think there's 11 committee members and myself, and we meet 3 times a year to plan the different events that we try to coordinate every month. So we try to have an event each month.
I mentioned, Megan, the coat drive, which was very successful the last couple of years, right?
Yes, the last couple of years we did a coat drive, and this past year we distributed at the Elk, so we had partnered with them, and it was a very successful event. The need was very great here in Faribault, and there were lots of families who, we had to turn some away because we didn't have enough coats.
Yeah, we had.
That's tough.
It was.
We had, I think we gave out over 500 coats, and we also had boots and snow pants and scarves and mittens, and everything was gone in about 10 minutes. So it was definitely a big event and very successful. So,
That's awesome. And what
yeah.
are some of the other things that you guys have done? You must have done some other projects, right?
Yeah, so one concept or one part of our events is the community service focus, and that's once a year we try to do a community service event, but we have been doing it been more like twice a year. So far this year we did an event with Big Brother Big Sister last month where we actually played kickball, and Megan can maybe talk a little bit about how that was structured.
Yeah, so we invited kids from our waiting list who are waiting to be matched with a big, and then had volunteers from the Young Professionals group come out for a game of kickball, and it was
Are there
a lot
a
of
lot
fun.
of people on your waiting list?
There are. We do have about 150 kids in our 4 counties who are waiting for a big, so
Oh,
there is a
my
huge
gosh.
need. Yes.
So we gave them a little fun night matched with some bigs, and just kind of tried to get the young professionals introduced to the concept of being a big.
And we did actually get 1 new big from that event.
Well,
so,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that was kind of a community service focus. And then we also are planning a community event. We're not exactly sure what it's going to be this year, but we're working together with different community partners to figure out where the need is and what we're going to do, which will be in September. So you can kind of watch for that and how to get involved. But in addition to the community service events, we also have lunches. We have 6 lunches a year. And those are kind of more like lunch and learn style. So we have either a speaker or a networking event. A couple months ago we did a speed networking, so kind of like speed dating, but we did speed networking. So you had, I think, a minute to talk to somebody and get to know them, and then you went to the next person. And that was really successful. I think we had about 40 people at that lunch. And then we do happy hours as well. So we do about 3 happy hours a year. And that's actually going to be our next event in July. We're going to do kind of a summer fun happy hour. We're not quite sure if it will be pontoon style. We talked about maybe doing something out at Willinger's where we took, had happy hour and had a pontoon rental to take us for a drive, or if we'll do more of like a summer volleyball game or something. But stay tuned for that because we're planning the details in the next week or 2.
And the idea here is young, active people.
That is
Exactly.
correct. And we do have our August event planned. That is a lunch and learn, and we're going to be talking about retirement, which is kind of exciting.
That's a very good idea.
It
on your part.
is.
You start planning now. Don't wait till you get old like I did.
That's right. And we're doing an interactive activity. We have Kurt from Hometown Credit Union that's coming in, and it's really going to get people to start thinking about their retirement, what kind of they want their lifestyle to be, and how to get there. So to start planning that. So I think it will be a great event. That's August 7th from 12 to 1 at South Central College.
It's
so
easier to get what you want done accomplished if you start now.
That's right.
True. And we do have, we have lots of events. If anybody is listening and saying, gosh, this sounds like a lot of different things to keep track of, tune in to our Facebook page, and that's where we post our upcoming events. Or contact the chamber and get on our email list. Just call the chamber or reach out to one of Megan or myself, and we can add you to the email list where you'll get a direct email with an event where you can RSVP. But our Facebook page
is Faribault Y Pro, and we do post events and other things throughout the year.
Faribault is B-A-U-L-T?
It is. Yep.
So if you just search Faribault Y Pro and then like it, you'll see on the news feed when we have upcoming events and what's going on.
Oh, I thought maybe I'd get a free drink at your event,
We could probably work that out if you like the page.
What's the event again?
The
happy hour.
Happy hour in July. A couple other events we've got coming up this year that are sort of tentatively planned. October, we're going to do a lunch and learn pizza and politics, which was a successful event we did a couple of years ago, where we bring in different candidates running for political roles and kind of get to know them. And then November, we've got another lunch and learn where we're bringing in new businesses or existing businesses that started their own businesses, and we're going to get to know them and how they grew their business from kind of ground up. So I think we've got a great year planned, and then 2019 is just around the corner, and we're getting our membership packages together. So another opportunity for people, if they want to get even more connected to YPro, is to consider being a member.
So why'd you join, Megan? I mean, when you first got to town, did you join this immediately?
Pretty quickly. So I moved to town about 4 years ago, and didn't really know anybody here. My husband and I moved. He works at Hartman Insurance in town, and we really weren't very connected besides our jobs. So once we got working in the community, I wanted to get more connected. I wanted to meet people, and so I had actually attended a YPro event, and I think I joined the committee after my first meeting, just because it was a great opportunity, and it was kind of exactly what I was looking for, to meet people and kind of establish myself here in town.
Did you get some bigs out of that too?
Yeah, Haley's a big, and we have a few other that were committee members that have become bigs as well. So I've seen a huge success. That's kind of not only to meet people in my personal life, but also to meet people to hopefully recruit them to be bigs. That's also part of why I'm doing it as well, and that has been very successful. So it does work. You get to know people, and they hear about what you do, and they kind of want to join in on your cause too, which is kind of cool.
Now, Haley, you're originally from here.
Mm-hmm.
When you went off to college, you probably thought, I'm not going back, or did
That's
you
right.
always say I'm
No,
going
I
back?
absolutely thought, I'm getting out of Faribault. I'm gonna go see the world, and I did a little bit, and then moved back here after college to kind of figure out where I was gonna go next, and got into real estate and got involved with things like this YPro group, and realized that what a lot of times young people think we can find somewhere else, we actually can find right here in Faribault, but there's just it's maybe a little more difficult. So that's kind of one of the pushes behind this group, is make sure that we're encouraging others to get connected and recognize what we have right in front of us for young people. It's a great community to live, to play, to work, and to be single or raise a family. So lots going on in Faribault.
Now, your generation is going to be taking over and running things. By that I mean city government, county government, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Probably in the not too distant future here.
Right.
We want to keep these young people here, right?
That's right. Yep. And we've found, and we've done different studies, that the more people are connected with groups like this, social groups, and meeting people in their community, the more successful or the longer term they're going to stay at a career. So even for employers that are listening that have employees, it's important to encourage them to get involved, to meet people, to get connected with the community, because they're going to stay in their job if they're meeting people. If they feel isolated and aren't connected, there's a better chance that they're searching for a different job. So I think we want employers to also consider encouraging their employees to get involved with our group too, not just self-employed business owners, but employees too.
Yeah. Many moons ago, I was a JC. It was a young organization for people, right? I was a JC when I was going to broadcasting school in White Bear Lake. I was a JC there. So when my first radio job happened in DeSoto, Missouri, I stayed with the JCs. It is great way to network with people that are of your own vintage, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And you get to know other people in the community too, because we're always doing projects. So I stayed with the JCs all the way through. And of course, when I got here, it wasn't long after I got here, there were no more JCs, which is a shame.
It is. But hopefully there's a group. I mean, YPro is a national concept. So if I think some other communities don't call it YPro, I can't remember what they call it, but if you just search young professionals, they're everywhere, these kinds of groups. They all have a little bit different of a twist to them and a different vision, but I think it's a up and coming thing. So
yeah, that makes perfect sense. Now you got a brochure there that says golf tourney on it. Is that Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Well, Big Brothers Big Sisters does have a golf tournament on Monday. We're going to be over in Waseca this year. So we have our Golf for Kids' Sake Monday. There's a lunch at 12 and a shotgun start at 1. But the other golf tournament that I have here is the Chamber Golf Tournament, which is July 16th at the Faribault Golf and Country Club. So you can call the Chamber if you want to golf. There also looks like there's sponsorships available, and I think it's probably the season for golf tournaments right now. I'm sure there's a lot at all of the golf courses.
July 16th.
July 16th. Yep.
You don't have to be a chamber member to be involved in that?
I don't think so. I think anybody can golf. I think you just need to, it looks like a foursome is $300 to golf, and that includes 18 holes for 4, carts, and dinner for 4. So it includes a lot as well.
And I know you wanted to plug another chamber event.
Yep, so they do have a customer service hospitality training coming up at the Paradise on Tuesday, June 12th and Wednesday, June 13th. So Tuesday, June 12th, it's from 12 to 4, and on Wednesday, the 13th, it's from 8 to noon. So it's just a training at the Paradise where they're going to have some, it looks like they're going to have prizes, food, lots of wisdom. They are asking for people to register because they want to get a head count for food. It's a free event. It's open to both members and non-members. So it sounds like a great training and lots of great insight that they'll share for anybody that works in hospitality or customer service, which
almost
I think in every job uses customer service.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much.
Yeah. Even you, Gordy.
I know. Even me. Hospitality training. So when's that event again?
So it's Tuesday, June 12th from 12 to 4, and Wednesday, June 13th from 8 to noon at the Paradise. And call the chamber to register for that.
I noticed that the Paradise is being used a lot for training facility.
It has. They actually have it's a great spot. They have a lot of room there, and a great facility to have an event at.
Worked out well for your event.
Oh, it was perfect.
It did.
Yeah, we so appreciate them kind of allowing us to host our event there. So.
Well, I'll be curious to see what your new event is.
Yeah, stay tuned, and we'll hope to see you there, Gordy, and all of you listeners.
And check out our Facebook page because the events will be posted there. It's a great spot to keep up to date. We post upcoming stuff, pictures from events, and it's just a great way. You can send us a message on there as well, and we'll get back to you if you have questions about it too.
I'm not sure, Haley, if you feel obligated because you were a pioneer in this to stick with it, or do you think you really have gained from being involved in the YPro organization?
I definitely feel like I've gained, and for me it's like you start getting connected socially to different people, and you're mixing in a little bit of growth of, your professional life and developing your skills, because we have different, networking and educational events, and then naturally your business just starts to grow. So it's nice to be involved with something where there's not a pressure or a push where you're trying to sell things or people are trying to sell things to you. We definitely avoid that. So if you come to an event, no one's going to come up and try to sign you up for anything. It's more just, basically building relationships and getting to know each other, and then naturally you're going to get business in return. So
you have seen a growth in business because of this.
Absolutely, yeah. And just, it's helpful. A lot of people know you or know me as Haley for one way or another, and they might not know me as a realtor. So at the events I can kind of talk a little bit about both. They can get to know me a little more as a person, but also as a realtor. So
and there's quite a few realtors.
There are, yeah.
It's
now more than ever,
very
probably.
competitive market, I'm guessing.
Yep. And I think, I like to think that there's plenty of business for every realtor, and there's a lot of different kinds of realtors. There's a lot of different kinds of people, and it's about finding that good match. And same with any other career. So when you get to know somebody on a social level, then you can decide if you want to work with them on a professional level, and if you have that trust established, because I think that's pretty important.
Yeah. Speaking of matches.
Oh my goodness, that was perfect.
I just
That
tied
was
in
quite
for
the
Megan.
segue, wasn't
You're
it, Megan?
great, Gordy.
Oh, no, Haley's the one that segued into the matches.
That was Big Brothers Big Sisters is making lots of matches. We're now serving more kids than we ever have. And you did hear before that we do still have 150 kids on our waiting list, because as we're making more matches, people are hearing about us and we're getting more referrals. We have parents calling, so it's not those same 150 kids that have sat on the waiting list forever. We're getting more. We're making matches. In May, I think we made like 13 or 14 new matches, which is huge.
And it's not easy.
It's not easy, but it can be.
No, I'm saying making the matches.
Making the matches, yeah.
It's
So
not easy.
and we do try to make good matches. We want our bigs and littles to enjoy hanging out together. This morning I was just at Tony Langerwood's office for their Chamber of Business before hours, and he was telling me he took his little fishing yesterday, and he had a blast. They cooked some brats on the grill and just hung out and went fishing. And I asked Tony, "Are you a big fisherman?" And he's like, "Yeah, but I don't get to do it as much as I would like to." So this kind of gives him an excuse to go fishing.
No, when I was big, we'd go to ball games and we'd play games. Play a little horse and basketball, and play a little football.
So it is a fun experience. We don't ask for a huge commitment. We look for a minimum of a year, and that you get together a couple times a month for a couple hours. And we really do match you with somebody that has similar interests as you. Sometimes I think people are like, "Who's this kid I'm going to be a match with that I have to hang out with?" We get to know the volunteers, what they're looking for, what they like to do, so we can match you with somebody who has things in common. So it doesn't really become like, we don't have anything to talk about, but they enjoy the same things, and those types of things. We match you with somebody that you're going to be comfortable with and that you're going to have fun hanging out with, because we want it to last.
No, we had a good time. We used to go out in the fall. We'd watch the changing of the leaves. We'd go out for walks at the Big Woods Park in Deerstrand.
Fun. Very cool.
Gradually see the changing of the leaves. Did some hiking out there. Yeah, it was a great time.
Well, it sounds like Gordy wants to become a big again.
Well, it's something I have actually been thinking about.
Cool.
My brother, because I was a big, became a big.
Okay.
And his relationship with his big has gone on
Forever.
Cool.
forever. I mean, they're like
And
best
mentorship
buds.
is so important, and I think I'm a big, and for a long time I felt like I'm probably not doing anything to help, this child, because she's a pretty darn great child already, but her mom and my gal that checks in with me from Big Brother Big Sister will tell me that no, you are making a difference, and sometimes it's just simple things that we can do as mentors that we don't even think about, that rubs off on a kid and might make a huge difference in their life.
Just spending time with them.
It is.
Right.
And that's what we look for. You don't have to teach them anything great or anything grand. We just really look for that time that you spend together.
And it actually ends up giving back to you in more ways probably than the child is benefiting, I've found. It's just such an incredible concept that they have going. So.
Yeah.
And we hear that a lot from our bigs, that they get just as much out of it, if not
I got more out of it than my little did.
Yes.
In fact, I was kind of bummed. I kind of thought it was going to happen, as he got older and wanted to spend more time with his friends.
Yeah.
You know how that is. You get that stage as a teenager where you want nothing really
Right.
to do with adults. We've all been there, right?
Yep.
I knew it was coming. So when he said to me, "Gordy, I'd kind of like to spend more time with my friends. Do you mind?" And I said, "No." That's the stage in life you're at.
Yep. Our little actually is taking his driver's license. He just turned 16.
Oh, cool.
So that's kind of cool too. Pretty soon he's going to be able to drive us around. So that will be fun.
More independent.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
But you're still sticking with the match then.
As far as I
Well,
know,
that's
yes.
Cool. That's very cool.
Yes.
So again, if people are interested in being, and in fact, I know people that are grandparents that are big.
Perfect big.
Right?
Yeah. Empty nesters are a great an age group that we kind of target, because they have time. Their kids go off to college. They were so involved in their sports, their activities. So they're kind of looking for, okay, what should I do next? So it's a great opportunity for them to get involved, and they have made some of our best bigs. We do have a big couple option where a husband and wife can volunteer together, and that's what Tony Langerwood and his wife do. They volunteer as a big couple, so they're able to do things, the three of them. Or if Tony wants to take his little one time, or Carol wants to take their little, they can both do that as well. So it's a great option. That's what my husband and I do. So it gives us that opportunity to do things together as well, which makes it a lot easier.
You have kids?
We have a 15-month-old. So now it's becoming more either my husband will take Sean to go do things or I will, so that one of us can stay home with our son.
Oh, sure. I was thinking they might be closer in age, but that's
They're
quite
not.
different.
Yeah, it is.
You have kids too that get involved with your bigs?
Yeah, actually, I have a stepson who's 12 and my little is 11, so it's kind of nice because.
Oh, they're right at close to
Yeah,
age,
we have done things together, and then I have a 14-month-old. So my little is absolutely loved by my 14-month-old. When
Sure.
she sees her, she just smiles and reaches for her. So it's pretty cute.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
Fantastic.
it is a cool experience for the kids too to see. On top of our big couple option, we also have a big family option where whole family can be involved as a volunteer. Again, I can't take time away from my own kids to hang out with another kid. Well, in this option, you don't have to. You just bring the child along with what you're already doing.
Another sibling, basically.
Basically, and it's great for your own kids to see that as well and build that relationship. We've had some really great experiences come from that
I'm going to guess, this is just a guess on my part, and if I'm wrong, you can tell me I'm wrong. Most of your littles probably are not, that they don't have siblings. Most of them.
Well,
is that true or not?
No, I wouldn't say that's true.
Okay.
Sometimes kids are enrolled in the program because they may have 6 siblings and
Their parent wants them to have one-on-one time with an adult.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So we have, kids from all different situations. We have kids who have a mom and a dad. We have kids who come from single parent families. We have lower income, but not all of our families fit in that. We have some that just, for whatever reason, want their child to get some extra one-on-one attention. And what kid couldn't use an extra friend, somebody extra to be kind of in their corner in their support system. So we have kids from all walks of life.
Great. So again, you can get more information about Big Brothers Big Sisters. They have an office downtown, and more information about the young professionals either on the Chamber's website or pop out to the Chamber office and get more details. Thanks, ladies.
Thank
you, Gordy.
Appreciate you coming in. That concludes today's edition of AM Minnesota on KDHL AM Faribault, Minnesota.